Okay. Hello and welcome back. So, so I know the title of this streaming series is called Coding, Chilling and Reading, and I haven't been doing a lot of reading. So today's episode will be all about reading some articles or learning general learning stuff without coding. Maybe I'll code a bit, but I'm not so sure. I also have uh, my friend here. It's red wine mixed with cola. So I'm gonna sip on it while I learn. One thing that I wanted to do, so we're gonna start immediately, is this article. Whence the new line? So let's see what this is about. Okay, so it's in. What's this? What language is this? It's Rust. No, thank you. What we removed. I don't hate Rust. I just don't know it enough to read something about it. Rust needs a web framework. I think this is also. Gleam is pragmatic. What the hell is Gleam, bruh? So let me just get you on board with what I'm doing. I'm having a channel. I'm learning on it. Stuff related to my trade. I'm a computer programmer. I'm a front-end developer, but I'm also interested in more complex domains. So sometimes I'm just reading, learning, whatever I grab my hands on it. Unit tests as documented. Wait, let me just, yeah. AI PCs aren't good at AI. The CPU beats the NPU. What's this? It's a benchmarking. No, I'm not interested in this. FTC announces click to cancel rule, making it easier to cancel subscriptions. I don't know how interested in this I am. ArchiveBox is evolving the future of self-hosted internet archives. Oh, actually, let me. Yeah, I wanted to because I know that archive.org was attacked. Big changes are coming to ArchiveBox. New features coming to the future of self-hosted internet archives. Plugin ecosystem, P2P sharing between instances, Cloudflare CAPTCHA solving. Now, this is the point in which I'm too ashamed to say that I don't know what means in this instance. What P2P means. Peer-to-peer. Of course. Here's a breakdown of what it likely means in this scenario. So P2P is a decentralized method where two or more entities share resources or data directly without relying on a central server. In P2P sharing between instances, each instance acts as a both client and a server. So what this means? Instances. What are instances? Virtual machines, applications, or nodes in a cloud or distributed system. P2P sharing would imply that these instances exchange data, files, or resources directly among each other. So what are some examples? Distributed. Okay. So come here. In the wake of the recent attack against archive.org, so what happened on archive.org? So Archivebox has been getting some increased attention from people wondering how to self-host their own internet archives. I used to solely depend on the Wayback Machine to automate archiving pages. Now I'm archiving web pages using Selenium Python package on archive.ph and ghostarchive.org. Might self-host here. Archivebox is a strong supporter of archive.org and their mission to preserve all of human knowledge. We've been donating for years and we urge you to do the same. They provide an invaluable service for all of the humanity. We condemn the DDoS and defacement of their site and hope it never happens again. Realistically though, they are an attractive target for people who want to suppress information or start IP lawsuits. And this may not be the last time it happens. So, is this just like an advertisement article? In an era where fear of public scrutiny is very tangible, people are afraid of archiving things for eternity. As a result, people choose not to archive at all, effectively erasing that history for... unrelated to archiving, I once had a scenario in which a kid in my elementary school left a nasty comment on a page related to, I think it was a girl or something, and he basically wrote my name under the comment, my full name. So when I started university, and that happened like 10 years away from when I started university, maybe not 10, 8 years away from when I started university, I showed this to my friend and he thought it was so funny. He showed it to everyone else, basically putting this Google search to the first place. And when I started looking for jobs, I think like recruiters are Googling me and seeing this thing on the first page of Google. And basically for half a year, I was getting like declines. So I pinged the administrator of, it was like a blogging site. I said, please, can you remove this? So they did. So sometimes archiving something can be bad. Like, it can be detrimental to someone else. We think people should have the power to archive what matters to them. Yeah, what matters to them on an individual basis. Who cares about saving stuff? All of us have content that we care about, that we want to see preserved, but privately. Families might want to preserve their photo albums of Facebook, Flickr, or Instagram. That is also an interesting point. Like 5-10 years ago, it was almost inconceivable that a behemoth of social networks like Facebook could one day cease existing. But now, with those modern and hip social networks, Facebook is losing its structure. Is Facebook losing traction? Maybe I should ask this ChatGPT. How many new users does it have? How many active users does it have? Okay, ChatGPT is one generator. Let me just get a refill of my bamboo drink. I'm coming back in maybe 20 seconds. Red wine is healthy for you, by the way. As of 2024, searched for 6 sites. This is cool. This is cool that ChatGPT now has references to what it does. Facebook continues to show significant engagement, but there are signs of shifting dynamics. The platform currently boasts 3.2 billion monthly users, monthly active users, and 2.1 billion daily active users. Wait, Facebook daily active users. Facebook daily active users. History. There's no way that Facebook is growing. Is Facebook growing? Daily active. Yeah, it's 2 billion. 2 billion. User growth rate. So yeah, look, I think it's normal for Facebook to hit its growth spurts early on and to reduce it as time passes, because you know how many people are there. Most of everyone that's already on Facebook is on Facebook, but India, United, what the fuck? 400 million people, 375 people are from India. Most use social platforms. So Facebook is still the biggest social media platform worldwide. I thought that TikTok overtook it, but no. There's no way that there are 67% of people aged 18 to 29 on Facebook. Well, there's no fucking way. Yeah, of course the boomers are. Of course the boomers spend the most time on Facebook. Okay. So no, I'm not interested in you. Facebook user base. Okay. Can you give me a historical can you give me historical information on daily active users on Facebook? Is this the peak? I don't think this is the peak. Interestingly, the majority of Facebook users access the platform through mobile devices, making up 98.5. Wow. I remember when Facebook didn't even have a mobile app. Yeah, those were the good times. Okay, so Facebook actually reached the peak in 2024. I expected it to lose traction, honestly. Around 2021, though, we're under 2 billion. Okay. So to be honest, I expected Facebook to not grow, but it keeps growing for some reason. Individuals might want to save the bookmarks, social feeds, or chats from Signal or Discord. What if the content is evil? There's also content that unfairly benefits from the existence of free public archives like archive.org. So Archivebox has a new plugin ecosystem. So what the hell is Archivebox? Try out the beta. So how does this work? Are users gonna be able to share their archives between each other? Like you'll create your channel of archives that you have. Yes, someone is gonna have curated board archives. REST API. Okay, interesting. Oh, let me check about this. The Internet Archive is under attack. The breach revealing info for 31 million accounts. When visiting the Internet Archive on Wednesday afternoon, you are greeted with a pop-up claiming the site has been hacked. So it has been confirmed, and he did this on Twitter. Fuck. So, wow, they even got passwords. %54% of the accounts were already in his database. In post on his account, Hunt gave further details on the timeline, including contacting the Internet Archive about the breach on October 6th and moving forward. Okay. Too bad. I used the Internet Archive a lot. Man, it was a good site. I mean, it still exists, right? Nothing was cleaned or removed. Archivebox awesome, and we'd love to be more awesome and sustainable. I've posted issues and PRs for showstopper issues that took months to get merged in. Okay, so we need Archivebox to be a real thing. Oh, this is really interesting. How do people imagine? So, this guy inherited a boat, wanted to find more information about the boat. He couldn't because the boat was built and made in the 60s, and there's not a lot of information now. It could have been like 10 or 20 or 25 years ago on internet forums. So he used archive sites to find data, and he stored it on Archivebox. But these days, the kind of info would be locked up in a closed Discord chat somewhere. Why is Discord so became so famous, man? No idea. The brutalist. I think I read this. It's a boring article. Single page app, life, death, and retirement. When Earth had rings. When Earth had rings. Now this is a pop science article that I want to read, definitely. Oh, I also have some YouTube videos. I hope I can stream them. Uh, I think YouTube belongs under fair use. Basically, as long as you leave a comment, uh, leave your own commentary on it, it's fair use. So hopefully it will be okay. So when Earth had rings, let me read about this. Without me, okay, I'm interested in this. I built the most over-engineered deal with it emoji generator. A modern Minecraft server written in Rust, SQLite 3 WebAssembly. All possible plot by major authors. Where should I ask string versus pointer to a string? I'm interested in this. Cognitive load, I'm interested in this. I already opened this. I think it's a good thing that that lobsters focus more on IT and technology than on general science, because sometimes I want to read something about, I don't know, Talos Linux, which I couldn't find in Hacker News because it's dug deep uh, below all the other information, which is also quite interesting depending on what you like. Ah, okay, I just downed. I drank everything I had. How to write a blog post about how to monetize a blog. What? Oh, the seat. Okay, this is something that I want to, to know about more. Why make software? Okay, tell me please. Tell me please. So let me just Quest Rust single page app to be born in a bag when Earth had rings. I think I can remove this because I'm gonna. Fuck, I forgot how this app. Oops, sorry. Man, there's a great, fuck me. Yeah, it works now. There's a like exact moment, the Goldilocks zone, when you are just tipsy enough to be hyper focused, but not drunk enough to do something reckless. And I'm in that moment right now. So how we outsmarted CSGO cheaters with identity logger, the world of CSGO server operation. So Mo founded an Australian based and New Zealand, sorry, people always forget New Zealand when they'll talk about this area of the world. I think both Australia and New Zealand are part of Oceania. They share a lot of similar culture, at least. So yeah, let's group them together. CSGO community called Invest Gaming, which was active in this period. Okay, so we had a good community, blah 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 blah. So wait, is this starting from all time? Okay. So a lot of work. Sorry, I just want to see how long this article is. A lot of work was involved in maintaining a gaming community. So okay, you need to maintain the infrastructure. You need to manage costs. You need to add new content. Uh, fixing their hitboxes. What the fuck?
Alright, hey guys, it's Byte here, and I got a tutorial for you on how to fix up CSGO models and attachments. So before I get started, you're going to need a few tools. You're going to need Crowbar, just to use to decompile and compile model files. You'll need CSGO SDK for the Half-Life model viewer, and just any text editor using Notepad++ here. Alright, so the actual problem is in CSGO and also other source games.
So sorry for interrupting you. I think this is. I just apologize to a YouTube video for interrupting him. I think this is relatable only to custom models, right?
Modeling files. You're gonna have various models. Let me just open the one I want to fix today. Alright, so you're gonna have various models that have hitboxes that are not quite perfect. So we have this model right here, Mikasa Ackerman from Attack on Titan. And if I press Control H to bring up the hitboxes, you see it's using one of the default CT hitboxes. For CSGO, this is one of the CT skins. I think it's the FBI skin. And as you can see, the hitbox isn't exactly perfect. It doesn't align with the mesh properly. So for example, at the top here, the head, which is probably the most important part of the hitbox, you can see if you shoot a bullet right above the head, where there is no where the mesh is not there. If the bullet connects, that's going to do damage. You can see the body, it's like way too wide here, and that's going to pretty much cause issues. The feet as well, just way too big. The hitbox is too big. And yeah, pretty much these are not ideal. And to fix them, what you really want to do is you want to shrink these hitboxes as much as possible so they're barely bigger than the actual.
How do you do this? What application is this? It's a model. It's a model file, but where? How did the user open? So it must be. It must be a Half-Life 2 or Valve related modeling
body part, or barely bigger than the actual mesh. So we're gonna pretty much transform this hitbox into one that's pretty much close to perfect, or as close to as perfect as you can get. Mesh properly, and we'll also be checking attachments and fixing the position of attachments. You can left click to just drag the model around. If you go to the sequence tab, you can change the sequence or the animation that is being played out. What you want to do is lock the frame on frame 0, just so it doesn't keep animating. And yeah. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to keep the sequence on either ragdoll or reposition to idle at frame 0. This is a very generic pose, and it's really easy to make the hitboxes we want.
Sorry, let me just get my beer also for my fridge. Now listen to this. Let me just clean it a bit. I heard that rats can be running on pallets of these cans of not only beer but also Coke and Red Bull. So you need to clean it if you don't want to get, I don't know, the Black Plague or something. So listen. Now listen to this. Okay. Let's continue.
For this pose. Alright, so if we press Control H again to bring up the hitboxes, these are the hitboxes currently in the model. Before we can edit the model, we need to decompile it and recompile it. So we'll bring up Crowbar to do that. So let's bring up Crowbar.
What is Crowbar?
Alright, so bring up Crowbar, we want to go to the decompile tab. You don't really need to change any of these options. Just leave everything on default. So we have the various files compiled, and you want to app these lines here and this line here. So if we remove this sequence and the corresponding animation and save and then recompile, and there we go, and then it's done. So now if we just load in this new model that we decompiled, so we want to go into, and by the way, this is the so this is the folder, my CSGO folder with the path to this model. So this was the original model files, and this is the new one that I just compiled. So if I load this in, And again, if we look at the hitboxes, we now have auto-generated hitboxes, and these are the ones that the model compiler auto-generates, and they're pretty decent. If you don't have any hitboxes at all, they can generate a fairly decent hitbox, but they're obviously not ideal. There's still many improvements that can be made. The main one.
How Counter-Strike is created. I haven't played it in. Actually, I wanted to say I haven't played it in a long time, but I did play it quite recently. I think like maybe 4 years ago. On my old work, we used to play it after work, but on my old workplace. But so I assume all of these are hitboxes, and all of these, every box deals different amount of damage.
Is like the head, it's not spherical. So CSGO supports spherical and rectangular hitboxes. Other games only support rectangular hitboxes.
How did you fix?
From old model. What I'm also going to do is just in a new tab, just paste the default hitbox.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, are these points? No, they're not points. What are these?
Boxes there, and mark this tab as read-only, just so we don't accidentally, delete anything or overwrite anything, just so we have a reference. Right. And whenever we make a change like this, what we want to do is just recompile the model. Don't have to do this all the time, but it's usually a good idea, just so the changes are reflected. And again, make sure you wait. We have the head and neck, which is red, and that's hitbox group 1. Hitbox group 2 is the upper body, which is green. Hitbox group 3 is the lower body, which is yellow. The left hand is purple, which is hitbox group 4. Hitbox group 5 is the right hand, which is pink. Hitbox group 6 is the left leg, which is cyan, and hitbox group 7 is the right leg, which is gray. Explaining the actual hitbox params in the QC file. So if we look at the QC file, we have this line like this. Like if we look at this first one, we have $hbox, $hbox, space 0, space, and then in brackets pelvis. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different numbers or floats separated by space characters. So what do they mean? We have HBox, then we have the group number, and the group number refers to the hitbox group. Then we have the specific bone name that hitbox is attached to, and that bone will determine the origin of the hitbox, where it starts out. And then we have the location and rotation properties. We have the min x, min y, min z, and the max x, max y, and max z. And those 2 points are going to determine the starting and ending position of the hitbox, like how big it is and just pretty much the location. On top of that, you can have rotation. You got rotation x, y, and z. And the final value is one that's unique, I think, to CSGO. I'm not sure if other games support spherical hitboxes, but this determines how spherical the hitbox is. A value of 0 would mean it's a rectangle, and the higher this value gets, the more spherical the hitbox gets.
Oh, cool.
So we'll experiment with that as well. We have leg lower R, which is the leg from kind of like the ankle, pretty much right here. Now once you have all that, you want to save, Control S. The pelvis is way too low because there's obviously, if you toggle it off and on, there's like a gap between the thighs, and there's a massive pelvis hitbox covering that. If you are strapped for time, you could probably leave it at this example, alien or something. You might want to have 2 to correctly represent the mesh, and that's fine to do. Just it's best to keep the number of overall hitboxes as low as possible, because that's going to be the best performance-wise. All these are used in collision detection algorithms, so you don't want to have too many. But yeah, in this case we only need 1, and in most cases, for most player models, you only need the defaults that we have here. But sometimes you'll need more. So I will do one for the head when I get to it, just to explain how 2 hitboxes would look like. But for now, we're just going to keep using 1. And then once you have the right bone selected, you want to click on highlight hitbox, and that's going to like show these editing tools. Now you can edit the hitbox in various ways. You can rotate, you can translate the min and the max, and all that does is pretty much use the model viewer to edit these values here. You can do this manually, but using the model viewer obviously makes it a lot easier. We will need to use the QC file to edit things like the sphere, because you can't do that from the model viewer. But for now, we're just going to go back to the model viewer. And let's say we wanted to rotate this around. And these color codes, blue, green, and red, correspond to pretty much the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. So in this case, let's rotate this alongside the red axis. So that's what that does there. So if it was like a bit misaligned, you could align it up just a bit. There's the green one. So hold up. And when you're rotating, the model viewer works in a weird way. What you want to do is you want to left click on the ring that you want to edit. So let's say I want to rotate alongside the red axis. I want to left click on the red, but I want to move my mouse cursor either to the left of the screen or the right of the screen. The right of the screen would increase it, the left decreases it. You don't want to move it in the direction of the axis. So what I mean by that is, let's say I want to edit this alongside the blue axis. Here, and save. For the foot, when I'm doing the lower, to reduce it or increase it, and I want it to be right about that knee area.
So Like even the empty space is considered a hitbox, right? I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. So if someone hits you here, you're gonna get damage.
Right.
Okay.
And what you want to do is when you're deciding where you should stop, you want to stop at the point where a little bit of the mesh can stick out. You don't have to cover it completely. Like if you have this, it's not a big deal if a bullet happens to just from this angle hit that tiny part of the mesh and not collide. If it means that you don't have to make the mesh too big and then have other parts hit when it shouldn't really
Yeah,
hit.
makes sense.
So in this case, we're just gonna have it like sort of like here, from the back, maybe. So this probably needs to be again. Click the update. This probably needs to be rotated a bit. Also, when it comes to hitboxes, you want to make sure they overlap just a tiny bit, just to cover the entire mesh. If they don't, the best thing to do would be, and yeah.
Well, that's it. Okay. Oh fuck! I hope the 3 seconds are not the copyrighted music. Fixing their hitboxes, preventing DDoS attacks. Okay. Regardless of the game, there will always be cheaters. Of course. You can detect them. You can use server-side code. You can rely on Valve anti-cheat systems. All these detection methods are great, but cannot automatically detect every cheat due to the constant back and forth. As a last resort, we rely on manual human analysis using CSGO demos that record all in-game activity 24/7. Our admins make a judgment call on whether a player was cheating. Okay. And then we need to permanently ban them. And they never, the cheaters, they don't like to be caught, and they never stop cheating. I can tell you the number of times a player was permanently banned for cheating, unbanned, and given a second chance, blah blah blah. Okay. How does one evade a ban? Ooh. The core mechanics behind a ban is that some place of identifiable, preferably unique information is used to deny you access to a service. So is the IP address more common than not? And also a Steam ID. When a player is banned, we put their IP address and Steam ID on the no-kill ban list. This means Santa won't visit you this Christmas, and also you can't play on our service anymore. So there's a Steam IP address, and there's a Steam ID. So this is the cheater. He connects. He has the IP ban check. He has the Steam ID ban check. He keeps getting banned, and he had this is a method ban player, and you add it to the database. So the next time they failed these checks, and they are not able to join anymore. So now he can create a new account, but he still can join because he's using the same IP address. Okay, this is logical. What happens if the player changes both their Steam ID and IP address in a single deciding move? But how often can they change this? Like if you ban them 2 or 3 times, I don't think they're gonna come back. Again, I don't think that's mentally well for both you as an administrator team and your player pool to have someone come back 3 times. When was this article written? 2024. So this is now a completely different player. There's no way to associate them with their previous bans on their Steam IDs or IP addresses because they are using fresh, never before seen identifiers. Unfortunately, this means the player is free to wreak havoc. If they get banned again, please rotate both identifiers together at once and continue ban evading. Yeah. Basically, I said this just now. Our analytics later revealed our most notorious cheater had access to seemingly endless IP addresses and over 87 Steam accounts that had purchased. What the fuck? How? Wait, where's mine? How much does CSGO cost on Steam right now? There's no way. I think CSGO is free, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is an interesting point. Having two players be on the same IP address. This is a really interesting point. Or share network like universities. I never thought about this while reading this. Wow. I'm not being funny and I mean no disrespect, but cheaters are cunts. Okay. They're gonna become bigger cunts. Maybe have some more cunt kids. I don't know why this is strike through. I completely agree with this statement, this sentiment. So how did you handle this? Wow. You know what? I would really like that I was maybe 6 to 10 years younger, so I can be part of these communities related to video games and reverse engineer their binaries and exploit the bugs and stuff like this. But you know, I'm almost on the wrong side of no, how to say wrong side of 30. What does this mean? Wrong side of 30. What does it mean? So no, I'm on the wrong side of 20. I'm late 20s, early 30s. So I would like that I was younger, but I don't have time for this anymore. Okay, so they did this. This browser was commonly used by several operators. So there's a browser in CSGO, not related to Steam, that would open randomly. And he had cookies, of course. So this is how they were catching cheaters. it's really interesting how you can exploit different domains of an application. I mean, I don't know if exploit is a good word. Maybe manipulate for your own needs, and in this case, it's for the greater good of the app and the players in it. So this is open source on GitHub. So yeah, I think it's fairly simple. Instead of having the IP check and Steam check, you also have this tracking ID check, and then you mash all of these together, and based on this, you ban bad actors, right? Oh, so they would open the browser in a hidden window every time a new player joins. Okay. Okay. And then banning started. Interesting. That's a really good article. Really good. It was well written. It was quite interesting. I like this. Oh, for Unreal Tournament 2004. I never played this. I saw videos of this gameplay. I hate these. Oh, I hate these ads. I remember I remember installing Unreal Tournament once, I think, and I couldn't find. I don't think I knew. I was a young kid. I was an idiot. I couldn't find servers to play on with different people, so I joined, I think, an empty server or something, or even I don't know if you could create servers locally. I don't think you. I don't know if you could create servers locally, but I think I was the only person. I remember this gun, this rocket launcher shotgun type of thing. I remember using it. I was alone on a map. It might have even been this map, and I was alone on it, and just shooting at nothing. I was a kid, so you and it was before the time of TikToks and all the other brain rot short form social media. So I was I was quite entertained for at least an hour or two playing alone. But at the same time, I remember this clearly. It felt so. I'm missing the word in English. It felt not creepy, but it felt. The same feeling you have when you look at pictures of liminal spaces. It almost felt. I don't know. It's a weird thing to describe when you are alone on a server and trying to play a game. I think I even watched a video of someone describing liminal spaces in video games and why they might be creepy. Sorry, I'm blabbering too much. I remember this gun pretty clearly. Okay, enough. Enough for me. You can ban by player GUID. The main solution we have today. Wait, is Unreal Tournament 04 still playing? Amazing. Amazing. Players from big countries often miss out on the sense of community that exists in smaller ones. When there are only 3-4 servers worth of people playing a game every day, you quickly come to know them all, which really adds to the banter as sense of enjoyment. I agree. Cool. I built the most over-engineered deal with it emoji generator. So what's this? Give him. You know, what I wanted to say. Yeah, I was ashamed. I wanted to start streaming my journey of learning and reading and just being online. But I was always ashamed that I would appear stupid if I don't know what a deal with it generator. Like, what the fuck a deal with it generator is? Oh my fucking god. What, it just puts these glasses on someone? Okay. All operation done fully client-side, no backend, no private data leaves your browser. Use machine learning models to automatically scale and position glasses on detected faces. So if I click deal with it. No, I don't want to download, but it's really cool. I like oh, there's a GitHub. This is 100% the kind of thing I was hoping for, where daydreaming what will internet be like for 20 years from now. Cool design, hilariously overpowered backend to do something basic, and zero of the corporate feeling or ad apocalypse. Awesome stuff. I love it. Let me look at the source code. As you already know, I'm an front-end expert, which I'm not. Which I'm not. 193. If I was logged in, I would start this, but I'm not, so. All operations are done fully client-side, no backend, no private data leaves to browser. Uses media pipe face detector task. What's this? The media pipe phase detected what you detect faces in an image or a video. You can use this task to locate faces and facial features within a frame. This task uses a bunch blah blah blah. Okay, so it's an algorithm that detects faces, most probably. Okay, let's see what happens here. So deal with it. GIF emoji generator. Public? I mean, there's nothing important in public. I don't know why. Why I open this? Source. Icons, assets, lib, store, and work. I think these are the important stuff. TS6 is this is React, right? Footer, file input, app. So use effect, if I'm not mistaken. I've mostly work in Angular. So if I'm not mistaken, use effect triggers. Use effect triggers on initial render, and when we change one of these properties, let me double check. Let me make sure this is the truth. Where the fuck are you? Where's my chat GPT gone? Where is my chat GPT gone? It's not here. Close. When does use effect trigger initial render? It always runs once after the component initial render. Yeah, I know this. On dependency changes, if you provide a dependency array, it will trigger every time the value that. I'm a genius. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So when does use effect trigger on initial render and on dependency changes, which, yeah, I already knew this. So if we have a mode, the message API triggers saying hello fellow hedgehog fan. I have no idea what this is. What's a hedgehog mode? Loops, number of frames, deal with it. What's a hedgehog mode, my man? Okay. I have no idea when this is triggered. Then we have some functions. We have a okay. So I mean, this is the app. App.tsx. It's not. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that complex. So what else do you have? Input image, glasses draggable. settings drawer, size handle. What's this? This is the lib folder. It has a glasses.ts, which I assume just handles the position of the glasses here, right? Yeah, I don't think it does anything else here. Bum, bum, bum. It has these settings, these configuration settings for the glasses. It can change size. It gets the aspect ratio. Okay, what does this do? So it gets the size from here and the device set. Okay, to get the aspect ratio. Fine, and okay. Store. Oh yeah, fuck. I've completely forgot how stores work. I mean I know, but I'm like completely out of it. I haven't worked in like 2 years in a state management app, so I completely forgot how stores and I know that they have slices now and substores or something like this. At least in Redux. I don't know for other state management libraries. Oh, I want to see this. So this is the glasses draggable. It's a function. Where do you end? So it has attributes, listeners, the reference node, I think. Transform. It gets the idea of the glasses. Again, I'm just thinking about it out loud. So what does it do? It updates the sub. Use bound store. What does this do? What is the use bound store? The use bound store hook is typically used with Zustand, a lightweight state management library for React. This hook enables you to connect components to a shared state or store. Ah! So it's not Redux, it's Zustand. Where the fuck are you? Zustand. No, it's not. It's store index.ts. Wait. Wait. Store index. It is Zustand. I think this is a German word, right? Word. Zustand. It means condition, yeah.
Zustand.
Zustand. I know a bit of German. I'm something of a German myself. I'm not a German, but I know a bit of it. Okay, so let me do this. I'm gonna stop here. And I'm gonna continue. This is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna continue everything that I have opened here. But I need to take a leak and I'll come back. I promise. I'll come back. Let me just shut down the mic so you don't hear me leaking in my toilet bowl. Sorry. So see you in 2-3 minutes maybe. Bye bye. Guess what? I'm back. You remember how I said like there's a Goldilocks zone when you are drinking, which hits you just right, so you have enough focus to do the things you like, but also enough self-control so you don't do anything damaging to yourself. Well, or you don't say anything stupid or embarrass yourself. So I think I'm way past that. um, Let me just check if my stream is working. Sorry. I'm way past that. Yeah, I'm a bit drunk. So, but I want to finish all of these. All of these tabs that I have opened. I think it's a good test of self-control of whether you can do this on time or not. So I also have some YouTube videos that I want to watch. I still not read some article, watch some videos. I think I already did this. I think it is quite good. So let's do this. When Earth had rings. So let's see what this is all about. First thing I notice, a lot of, are these ads? No, they are not ads. They are other articles. Oh fuck. Nautilus. I mean, it's a kind of site I'd like, but oh, it seems like a real interesting site. Let me just store it somewhere. It seems so ad-ridden. I'm sorry. Sean Raymond. Let's see. Planetary rings may be one of space's many spectacles, but in our solar system, they are a dime a dozen. While Saturn's rings are the brightest and most extensive, Jupiter and Uranus and Neptune have them too. What? I thought only Jupiter had them. Saturn has rings? No, I mean only Saturn. Saturn and Jupiter have them. What is the surface of Saturn and Jupiter? So you have also Jupiter. How Jupiter and Uranus? Uranus. And Neptune have them too. Man, I had so much energy, so much love for space exploration when I was younger. Now I don't know if I'm only drunk or what it is, but it's so amazing thinking about this. And like trying to imagine the sheer scale of it, or even the conditions on different planets. But that's not the point of this stream. The point is when Earth had rings. What's more, 4 icy minor planets that orbit among or beyond our gas giants also host. For example, I haven't heard about these ones. Chariklo? How do you say this? Chariklo is the largest confirmed centaur. So it's a smaller solar system body that orbits the sun between Jupiter and Neptune and crosses the orbits of one or more of the giant planets. So it's a minor planet. So it's the purple guy. It doesn't have a So it doesn't have a circular. How do you call this? What do you call this? Now, I have two things to note here. The first one is Chariklo is named after the nymph Chariklo, which is like of Greek origin, and I find it really interesting that even if at some point, uh, civilization ceases to exist and culture ceases to exist, you'll still have remains of the. I mean, you will have a lot of remains of Greek culture. So it has rings. Okay, minor planets. So various visited minor planets and their diversity. Pluto. Oh yeah, I forgot. My man, it's not a planet anymore. Why are you not a planet, brother? I mean, these are just asteroid looking structures, but Ceres? Okay, let me go back to what I was doing initially. What is the surface of Saturn and Jupiter? So the surface of Saturn and Jupiter quite different from the terrestrial planets like Earth, as both of these planets are gas giants without solid, well-defined surfaces. Now, this is something that I like broke my mind for a period of time. Like how like it's these things are massive. Like these things are more massive than Earth. Earth versus Saturn versus Jupiter size. I'm not only the size. So this is the Earth. I think this is Saturn, and this is Jupiter. So look at the size of these things, and they are all gas. Like there's no solids in them. Fuck. So it lacks a solid surface. So Saturn likes a solid surface. What we think of as the surface is actually the visible cloud tops made of ammonia crystals and water ice. If you descend through the atmosphere, it gradually becomes denser and hotter, eventually transitioning into a layer of liquid hydrogen, followed by metallic hydrogen deeper inside. And Jupiter is made of hydrogen and helium. They have a solid surface. So it's the top of its thick atmosphere. So, fuck. Thank God I'm not high. I'm only drunk now. I mean, I'm not even drunk. In my heyday, I could drink a lot. So now I'm only a bit tipsy, but these are mind-blowing information here. Why landing on Jupiter or Saturn is impossible? So they have no solid surface. Intense pressure and heat. So they have turbulent atmospheres. Okay, so how do they keep themselves together, man? So Saturn. No, I didn't. What I wanted to see, I wanted to see. Yeah, the Galileo probe of Jupiter. Are there any images there? No, this is not a real image. Okay. Okay. So basically, gravity keeps them together. Both Saturn and Jupiter have enormous mass, which generates immense gravitational force. Magnetic field, so gravity pulls everything inward, internal pressure balances gravity, rapid rotation creates centrifugal forces. Okay. Let's go back to the Earth rings article. So rings are likely the dwindling remains of shredded asteroids or comets. And when you think about the turbulence Earth experienced around 500 million years ago, the reality of a bygone ring system around Earth seems less far-fetched. About 466 billion years ago, which is nothing, long before the dinosaurs. Researchers have identified 21 impact craters from this spike, with sizes between a few and 50 fucking kilometers in diameter. And sedimentary rocks from this period show a huge increase in the concentration of elements associated with a specific group of meteorites called L chondrites. How do you say this? I don't want to even try. So some scientists claim that you can account for the craziness of the Ordovician period if Earth had a system of rings that it captured from an asteroid. And if it went through one ringed phase, there's a good chance that it went through several. So there's a new way of thinking about the history of the Earth. So he based these findings on craters during the Ordovician impact strike. Okay. I find myself perhaps irrationally quite irked that the picture headlining the article uses a picture of current Earth with rings, when Earth's surface 500 million years ago looked much different. The paper itself does have a map. Okay. Nice opening image, but what would be the view like from Earth? Wow. Let me see. I hope it's cool. It must be cool. Amazing. Cheers to this. Oh, this is actually quite interesting. There's an asteroid will fly near Earth in 2029, and it might break into pieces and might create a ring belt around it. Okay, cool. I like this. So what's the next article? Why make software? Why make software? If you want to leave a lasting legacy, some durable remnant of your brief existence that will ripple forward into the future and leave an imprint on hearts and minds of future generations, you might be wise to dedicate your life to pursuits other than the creation of software. Writing, painting, architecture, scientific research, building a business perhaps. If you're talented, dedicated, and lucky, all are more likely to get your name in the history books and solidify a legacy more than making software. That's depressed, but on a long enough scale of history, all of us will be forgotten at one time or another. Even like, I don't know who. I think the most famous person in history right now is Adolf Hitler. And he's so infamous that you won't find a discussion online or in the real world that sooner or later won't be based around him or won't mention him. But at the same time, give or take a long enough period, I think I don't think he will be forgotten, but he will move more and more into obscureness until he's just a footnote in history books. You want to leave? Okay, software is what means this? Ephemeral. Lasting for a very short time. Ephemeral. It's actually a quite nice word. It is building sandcastles in the air, forever shifting, changing, eroding. The lifespan of most software is at best a few years to a decade, and much of what endures is constantly evolving, built and maintained by teams of humans who remain forever hidden to the end user. A rotating cast of otherwise invisible programmers who come and go. So it's a battle with entropy, and it has nothing to do with the nature of software itself and everything to do with supporting socio-technological systems. With the right storage medium, code can persist in stasis nearly indefinitely. Dependencies change or become deprecated, and remote APIs start responding with 405s. Operating systems update, CPU architectures change, or are no longer manufactured. So it's so frustrating. It's so existentially futile. Why do we do this? Why do we make software? So why do we do this? So we have altruistic or virtuous reasons, and a lot of people work in crafts or occupations that involve the production of ephemeral goods, cooking, for instance, and everyone comes to the practice of software making for reasons of their own. Some for the joys of making something useful, some for the technical challenges, some for the endless series of intellectual puzzles, some for the money. But software is also a lever for shifting human thought and behavior. In their book Understanding Computers and Cognitions, Terry Winograd and Fernando Flores write, we encounter the deep questions of design when we recognize that in designing tools, we are designing ways of being. I think about this quite a lot, about how the design of a tool unlocks new human capabilities, and how about changes in our capabilities influence how we how we see and how we act in the world. So this is why the author makes software. He wants to help bring new ways of being in the world, however small, new ways to think, new ways to create, new ways to share ideas with others. The code will fall into disuse and disrepair, and it will be lost to the darkest pits of Git revision history. What may remain, what has the slightest shred of being carried forward, are the small ideas with that code is embodied ideas that I hope will be part of the great conversation of what it means to be human long after I'm gone. So I'm trying to think about this because this whole article is coming from a deeply personal, I think, deeply fundamentally existential source of understanding. It basically tries to explain why you make something that lasts so shortly if you want to leave an imprint on the world. But as I said, given long enough time, like every famous or infamous person will be lost to the history. And I don't think that anyone can survive this. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. I don't know. It's an interesting question to ask. Like, why do you do this? In the end, I do this because I need something to. I need something to prove to myself that I'm worthy of existence in a sense. Currently I'm working in a company that does OSINT, and it's quite, in my opinion, it's quite it's an altruistic charge. It almost feels like you are doing the world a favor by doing OSINT. I mean, OSINT is the service of finding criminals and bad actors in the world. So I always feel good, and I'm here for like 2 years, and I plan to stay. I don't know, for a certain time period more. But my point being is that I feel good helping people, and I feel good writing code that helps people, because I'm almost 3 years in this company, because before that I didn't stay long at most companies that I've been at. And I think my boredom came from the fact that I wasn't doing anything interesting in these job roles. So I think people like to help others, and especially people like to help others if they are getting paid for it, and especially if they are getting paid well for it, and especially if they are doing a decent or good job, which I think I am doing. So I like my job right now. It's not, I don't know, it's not something to, I'm not beating the world. I'm not leaving a long-lasting imprint, even though I would want to leave a long-lasting imprint. I would love to do something that would keep me in memory of humans after I'm gone for like at least 100 years, let's say. But I like this, and I'm so happy that I'm working here. Okay, enough bullshitting. This argument is framed as cautioning against the disappointment caused by awareness of the impermanence of one's work. Perhaps the author is not aware that all man's work are vain. Basically, I said this as well. Maybe not as good as Minimax here, but I did say something similar. I'm also relatively drunk, so I don't personally have psychological need to build things that outlast me. That's why I have children for. But I mean, that's the point. I don't have a psychological need to build things that outlast me. I have children for. What if someone needs to find something that will outlast him? You know, for you, my friend, it's children, but for other people, it might be different things. Everyone wants to last even after they are gone. I think everyone. I also do it mainly to make a living. I agree with you, friend. But it was basic fascination and or wizard stuff that set me on this path. Captain, it's only Tuesday. Ah! Because it makes me feel like a wizard. My smartphone can do more than what they teach at Hogwarts. This lifespan of most software is at best a few years to a decade. Now, this is an interesting point because someone answered this is a narrow view of software limited to web services which require active maintenance. Software that is complete, like embedded system games or certain libraries or tools, lasts far longer than that. Of course, games. Shit, yeah, games. No, I like this. I like this article. I like the discussion that it started. I like this. It's a really good article. And fuck, why can't I log in here? I want to make an article on lobsters, the C22 edition of Modern Sea. Ah, so it's a book. It's a book. I mean, I have already a book that I'm learning C from. Cognitive load. When should I use string versus pointer to a string? First of all, what this is this Rust? As soon as I saw fn main, I know that this isn't C or C++. It's not even Java. It's not C#. What the fuck is this language? Rust. Yeah, it's Rust. No, I'm not interested in Rust. Sorry. Alt plus will plot, but major SQLite WebAssembly. Okay, let's do this. As I have 2 articles left, I closed some of them. I have 2 of them left, so let's read through them and wow, now this is really cool. I like this. Minds.md. The author wishes to remain anonymous. So cognitive load. There are so many buzzwords and best practices out there. But let's focus on something more fundamental. What matters is the amount of confusion developers feel when going through the code. Confusion costs time and money, and confusion is caused by high cognitive load. Since we spend far more time reading and understanding code and writing it, you should constantly ask yourself whether we are embedding excessive cognitive load into our code. So what's cognitive load? It's how much a developer needs to think in order to complete a task. So when reading code, you put things like values of variables, control flow logic, and call sequences into your head. The average person can hold roughly 4 such chunks in working memory. How is this calculated? And also, why is this why is this on GitHub? Ah, okay, so it's the same article here. Okay. Once the cognitive load reaches this threshold, it becomes much harder to understand things, which is true. Our brains are not omnipotent in a sense. Our brains are just there. Let's say we have been asked to make some fixes to a completely unfamiliar project. We were told that a really smart developer had contributed to it. Lots of cool architectures, fancy libraries, and trendy technologies were used. In other words, the author has created a high cognitive load for us. Oh, fuck me. And we should reduce the cognitive load in our projects as much. Okay. This is actually something I want to talk about, but let me just hit the toilet again, and I'm coming back. And I'm back. So let me just check if because I muted my mic, I just want to make sure I just want to make sure I'm still being heard. I am. So basically, what I want to say that cognitive load is a common phenomenon that I notice for myself. Sometimes when working on complex tasks, I would notice myself carrying so much information, some information becomes, I don't know, they fight between each other in order to be at the forefront of whatever I'm doing. So yeah, we should reduce the cognitive load in our projects as much as possible. So there are types of cognitive load: intrinsic and why not intrinsic and extrinsic? So there is the difficulty of the task and the way the information is presented. can be greatly reduced. Oh, so what do we have? We have also examples here. So we will refer to the level cognitive loads as following: fresh working memory, zero cognitive load. Okay, so our brain is much more complex and unexplored, but we can go with this simplistic model. So complex conditionals. Oh man, I wrote a lot of this in my early days. A lot of these if blocks. Introduce intermediate variables. Okay, so this is how we have to solve this. So we can introduce some intermediate variables with meaningful names, like this, and then we have this, which is like really good. It really simplifies the condition immensely. Then we have nested ifs. Have early returns. Yeah, this makes actually, yeah, this is a lot better. We can focus on the happy path. Next we have inheritance nightmare. We are asked to change a few things for admin users. So we have our admin controller, which extends the user controller, which extends the which extends the bit. Okay. So part of the functionality is in base controller. Okay, so we have one plus. I think the plus is the cognitive load. So then we have something in the guest controller, so we increase the cognitive load. Then we have something in the user controller, so we again increase the cognitive load, and admin controller, so we increase it again. So then we have the super user controller. Preferred composition overhead as we want to go into detail. There is plenty of material out there. Too many small methods, classes, or modules. Mantras like methods should be shorter than 50 lines of code, or classes should be small, turned out to be somewhat longer. So who showed this? Bob Martin, I think. Having too many shallow modules can make it difficult to understand the projects. I agree. Not only do we have to keep in mind each module responsibilities, but also all their interactions to understand the purpose of a shallow module. We first need to look at the functionality of all the related modules. Of course. Methods should be shorter than 50 lines. It's definitely Bob Martin, right? Let me ask my man, my friend. Is this a mantra by Bob Martin? Yeah. It's clean code and a clean coder. Small focus methods are easier to read, understand, and maintain. What he didn't know is that now you can nest 10 methods inside each other and increase the complexity to enormous levels. Short methods promote reusability and reduce duplication, of course, as long as you have a small project. Yeah. Having too many shallow modules can make it difficult to understand the project. We also need to, this is something that I don't see mentioned a lot. It's the fact that there's a lot of interaction between modules. It's not only a module or a function or whatever being left there. More often than not, this module, this small structure in our code will be reused, will be manipulated, will be called there. You will have stuff extracted from it. You will get return values from it and stuff like that. So it's, it's we don't create it only for small things. More often than not, they are becoming more and more complex. To understand the purpose of a shallow module, we first need to look at the functionality of all the related modules. Information hiding is paramount, and we don't hide as much complexity in shallow modules. I have two pet projects, both of them are somewhat 5k lines of code. How much is the... How much is the Lisp language? Long, it's 800 lines. But it's 800 lines of pure code. Like there are no libraries that do linting or stuff like that. It's only pure code that I've written. Okay, 800 lines. 5k lines of code. The first one has 80 shallow classes, where the second one has 7 deep classes. I haven't been maintaining any of these projects for 1.5 years. Once I came back, I realized that it was extremely difficult to untangle all the interactions. Of course, man. Of course. Like, no one mentions this. I would have to rebuild an enormous amount of cognitive load before I could start coding. On the other hand, I was able to grasp the second project quickly because it only has a few deep classes with a simple interface. The best components are those that provide powerful functionality that have simple interface. So the interface of the Unix output is very simple. It has only 5 basic calls. Modern implementation has hundreds of thousands of lines of code, lots of complexity sitting under the hood. What else do we have? Shallow modules and SRP. All too often we end up creating lots of shallow modules for following some vague. A module should only be responsible for one and only one thing principle. What is this blurry one thing? Oh god. Sorry for the stop. I'm just drinking whether I have more beers in my fridge. No, I don't. Any wine? No. Ah, damn it. Instantiating an object is one thing, so this factory seems to be just fine. Factory, okay. Jumping between such shallow components is also mentally exhausting. Linear thinking is more natural to us humans. We make changes to our systems to satisfy our users and stakeholders. We are responsible to them. A module should be responsible to one and only one user or stakeholder. By the way, I went to this has been uttered by Uncle Bob, and actually I went to a conference in which Uncle Bob was a speaker. I even had the opportunity to talk with him after the conference. So, I mean, he's a fun guy. He's an interesting guy. He's really, how do you say it? He has a lot of aura, around him. But at the same time, I think, he's not the key holder to software development, and he doesn't prophetize what we should do, and in the end, how you code should be based on whatever the philosophy of coding is in your company and the way to make it optimized and better for everyone involved and everyone who works, and especially the people who are just coming to the company or to the project. I think on their backs you actually see and understand how easy and how good your code base is. Yeah, we have the single responsibility principle. If you introduce a bug in one place and then two different business people come to complain, we violated the principle. Too many shallow microservices. I mean, feature rich languages. Wait, thoughts from an engineer with 20 years of C++ experience. I haven't read a single article about the language since last summer and I feel great. I've been using C++ for 20 years now. When did came out? It's an 80 something, 85. And C is like in 70 something, right? 72. 72, yeah. Okay. I've been using C++ for 20 years. That's almost 2/3 of my life. Two-thirds. Wait. I'm like calculating. I feel like in Office there's an episode in which Pan gets. I think they need to lose some kind of weight. It's company wide, and the Scranton branch, of course, all of them step on the scale, and there's Pan coming after them. So someone says the full weight, so they're trying to calculate how much is Pan, how much Pan weighs. So two-thirds of my life, it's 20 years. Wait, I've been using C. Am I too drunk to calculate this? I've been using C++ for 20 years for now. That's almost 2/3 of my life. How can I calculate this? And why am I so obsessed? Why am I so obsessed about this? I'm not obsessed about how much age does the author have. I'm trying to calculate this. 20 years. Am I stupid? No, fuck. I don't want. No, I wanted to ask you, how old should I be? uh, I've been. Yeah. Now this is the thing that made me confused. Like, there's no way someone was coding in C since they were 10. I immediately calculated, and then 30, and then I realized, like, it doesn't make sense. Maybe he's 60 or something. Okay, I don't. Sorry, I'm just playing dumb right now. I've been using C++ for 20 years now. That's almost 2/3 of my life. Most of my experience lies in dealing with the dark code. Can you imagine the token or has a different meaning in requires and in requires. I have no idea what this means, so I'm just gonna skip it. Tight coupling with the framework. Okay. Cognitive load. Tailwind feels dirty, but we consistently find ourselves more productive with it. Styles are not spread across bunch of. So wait. Tailwind. Tailwind was a style library that deals with classes instead of custom styles in the CSS files, right? So you have built-in classes, and most probably you can extend those built-in classes with your own, right? I assume. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I switched my screen. Hey, Egi. I'm right. I'm actually a front-end developer, and I'm mostly using front-end technology, but I have a series on my channel in which I'm writing my own Lisp implementation of a language. I'm actually following a book by fuck, I forgot the author's name, but it's called Build Your Own Lisp. It's basically an introduction. It's both an introduction book in C, but also a pretty complex one that brings you to speed in C. So what I want to do is I want to clear my mind of all the front-end clutter that I have and improve it with whatever low-level language logic I can learn in my late 20s and early 30s. So yeah, sorry for the late answer. I didn't see your message there. Tailwind, yeah. Styles are not spread across. One can do what they come to do here. Styles are pretty interesting. I used to write a lot of complex animations on my first job and a lot of complex elements on my first job. And I realized that you only need these edge styles when you need them. Everything else you can create reusable classes for them, and just reuse them and at one point or another, unless you are writing I don't know, a roller coaster web page that has these wild elements on it. Most of these classes will be reused, and if you have a good designer, most of these classes will be definitely reused. So yeah, styles are not spread across a bunch of files with other concerns. One can do what they come to do here. There's no blah blah blah. Okay. So I need to close this. All possible plots by major authors. What's this? So I'm gonna end my stream right now. And at one point I even had 3 concurrent viewers. So thank you. You wasted your time with me, but thank you. I wanted to say regarding Cormac McCarthy, like the things I read from him, and I read The Road, I read The Blood Meridian, I read No Country for Old Men, I read Cormac, I read what's the name of this? I think mentally ill guy that attacks people and I think assaults sexually. Not Sutra. Oh, I read All the Pretty Horses. This is actually a pretty good one. I think it's pretty underrated. Child of God. Yeah. Oh fuck, I read a lot of books from him. He's amazing. Like amazing. So with this I'm gonna end. If you haven't read Cormac McCarthy, please do. And I'm ending my stream after 2 hours of it. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for, I don't know, coming in here, seeing what I do for 10-15 seconds, and seeing, even if you say this is not for me, in the end, I'm just trying to learn myself, and if I can become better at what I do, and if I can, learn more, maybe I can create videos in the future that could also help you as well. So thank you, and see you some